Tonight in New York City was the historic and annual Al Smith dinner in which every 4 years we see presidential candidates throw a couple of soft jabs at each other and what is a generally light and comedic roast, but while Kamala Harris broke with tradition a little bit by not being there in person, of course she recorded a video to be played and it was quite funny. Donald Trump was the one who really broke from the tradition of that kind of lighter comedy, as we can always expect with Donald Trump. He absolutely lost his mind. The fact that Kamala Harris wasn't there only added to his anger and grievance, and he just exploded during the speech, not only being unable to speak, but when he was completely out of control, yelling at the crowd and even starting to swear in his anger. It was an absolute mess, a humiliating disaster for Donald Trump, and we are going to get into all of it. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and want to join the community that we're building on this channel, to go ahead, hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and it means the world to me. Now, like I said, Kamala Harris did record a message to be played, a video, and it was quite funny. So before we get into Donald Trump's disastrous meltdown, let's hear from Kamala Harris.
Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry, Mary Catherine Gallagher. Mary Catherine Gallagher. It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Mary Catherine. Right now I'm trying to record my speech for tonight's dinner.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say that I'm Catholic, and tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Sometimes when I get nervous, I stick my fingers under my arms and I simmer them like that. But that's gross.
So tell me something. I'm giving a speech. Do you have some thoughts about what I might say tonight?
My feelings about what you should say tonight would be best expressed in a monologue from one of my favorite made-for-TV series.
Okay, let's hear it.
Don't you see, man? We need a woman to represent us. A woman brings more heart, more compassion. And think how smart she must be to become a top contender in a field dominated by men. It's time for a woman, bro. And with this woman, we can fly.
What series was that from?
Oh, that's from House of Dragons, now streaming on HBO Max.
Is there anything that you think that maybe I shouldn't bring up tonight?
Well, don't lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor.
Indeed, especially thy neighbor's election results.
Just so you know, there will be a fact checker there tonight.
Oh, that's great. Who?
Jesus. And maybe don't say anything negative about Catholics.
I would never do that, no matter where I was. That would be like criticizing Detroit in Detroit.
Does it bother you that that Trump guy insults you all the time? Because it really bothers my friends and me.
Oh, Mary Catherine, it's very important to always remember you should never let anyone tell you who you are. You tell them who you are.
Haters gonna hate, hate, hate. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Good for you, Mary.
Now that is the good-natured poking fun that we usually expect out of the candidates. Kamala Harris mocking Donald Trump for attacking Detroit while in Detroit, and of course throwing a couple other jabs at him, but Donald Trump doesn't have that type of self-control. I think that's a thing that we know at this point, so he decided to go up and just be as angry as possible in his speech, clearly out of control and unable to read really most of the jokes written for him by his staff. He clearly didn't look at the speech before it was out of control. Let's just get into it.
Candidates for president are supposed to exchange good-natured barbs, and you know we get along very well. I didn't like Biden very much, and now I like him quite a bit, you know. And now I say that she's much worse than him. He was a much better candidate than her, actually. And when we hopefully win, dispose of her, I like her a lot, but right now I can't stand her. It's true. I can't stand. I've never liked people that I was competing against. When you do, a lot of bad things happen. And we are doing well. By the way, the votes are starting to come in. You got to get out and vote. And Catholics, you got to vote for me. Just remember. You better remember I'm here, and she's not. I could have done that too.
So pretty much just a campaign speech to start for Donald Trump. A lot of the same old tired shtick, a lot of the same old tired bits, but as you can tell, he's a little bit lackadaisical, he's a little bit bored, a little bit sleepy, a little bit low energy, but that energy started to pick up once he got angry and went after his favorite targets to attack, because of course nothing gets Donald Trump more excited than being angry and fear-mongering, and we saw some of that as the crowd was actually just kind of laughing at him for what he said right here.
Said, don't. Does anybody understand that? Yeah. I thought it was actually very good until just now. It was announced this morning that at a funeral yesterday, in a rare moment of clarity, Joe told Barack Hussein Obama, they quote, only a few people got that. Or as Rush Limbaugh used to say, Barack Hussein Obama. Remember, bro? He was a piece of work. We miss him. But as he told Barack Hussein Obama, quote, she's not as strong as me. She's not as strong. Do you understand that? And Obama agreed, saying, that's true. Other than that, I think the Democrats are getting along quite well. Right? Nobody got that one.
Barack Obama really just lives rent-free in Donald Trump's head, doesn't he? President Obama is always up there. I don't think Donald Trump has been able to get over this gesture at the DNC that we talked about a little earlier today with his tiny little crowd sizes, and maybe something else is pretty small, but it really is he doing the Barack Hussein Obama bit. Aren't we tired of this? Aren't we just annoyed with having to hear from Donald Trump as he continues to lose it, as he continues to become more and more unhinged? Not only is it annoying, but it's just weird, and that's exactly actually what he was complaining about right here.
In any event, it's a weird. You know the word weird. They call me weird. They call JD weird. We're very solid people.
So if you want us to stop calling you weird, maybe you could just get out of the public. Maybe we could just have to never hear from you again. Maybe never see that orange makeup all caked up on your face. Maybe that would do the trick, and then we could stop having to hear from you and respond to you, because we are just as tired of you as you are. We know you're pretty insecure, Donald, insecure a lot about a lot of things, including your inability to read, which of course we saw during the speech, and we will continue to, but because Donald Trump is so bad with reading, so bad with talking in general. He got mad at the teleprompters again. Let's take a look.
They told me, under no circumstances are you allowed to use a teleprompter. And I got up here and I see there's this beautiful teleprompter. So here I am.
That just shows how disheveled the Donald Trump campaign is, and how really just out of it he is. The cognitive decline of Donald Trump. He's always talking about the teleprompter that he doesn't need as he's reading off of the teleprompter, and of course Donald Trump out of control as always, but really especially losing it right here in this moment when, like I said earlier, just swearing at the crowd, as we can see here.
I'm surprised that Bill de Blasio was actually able to make it tonight, to be honest. He was a terrible mayor. I don't give a shit if this is comedy or not. He was a terrible mayor. He did a horrible job.
Clearly not a fan of Mayor Bill Blasio, and I don't think Donald Trump could tell you anything that he did as mayor. I do know that Bill Blasio ran for president in 2020. I think that's what upsets Donald Trump most. Again, this is a man who can only ever focus on his grievance, only ever focus on his own complaints, and is driven so absolutely crazy by Kamala Harris clearly, and really just everyone in the Democratic Party, it seems, is on Donald Trump's mind all of the time. He just can't handle it, and especially as Kamala Harris and her campaign are really fun ways to mock him lately, and one of those is they've started playing clips of Trump at Kamala Harris's rallies to just absolutely humiliate him. Kamala Harris responds to them, and the perfect example, you're going to want to check out this full clip, came right here.
Thinking about abortion.
Everybody wanted it, and I did it.
Because for 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it.
And so the women thing, I did a great thing long term, and I think they'll understand, on the Roe v. Wade. I did a great thing.
Well, I want to talk about IVF. I'm the father.
You don't hear that every day.
I'm the father of IVF.
Okay. The courts will take care of that. Let's take care of November. We'll take care of November. Now, I mean, seriously. So, first of all, no, Donald, everybody did not want Roe v. Wade to be overturned. Women are dying of sepsis because they cannot get the health care they need. They did not want this. Couples just trying to grow their family are being cut off in the middle of IVF treatments. They did not want this. And now, I mean, it just gets more unbelievable sometimes. And now the man calls himself the father of IVF? I mean, what does that even mean? And in all of that, well, he is the one who, by the way, is responsible for it being at risk in